bars.
Live from the Windy C Radio studio in the shops at Iverson, this is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WindyCRadio.com, the Windy C Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Windy C Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Good morning, ladies and gents, kings and queens, and everybody in between. Welcome to the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars, and I am, of course, your host, AJ Throwback. Great to be here with you on another beautiful, sunny day in the DMV. How it's supposed to get up to 79 degrees today, so make sure y'all get out and enjoy this beautiful weather because we don't know how long it's going to last. Next thing you know, fall might just be here and be here to stay. So definitely enjoy this weather. So I definitely want to shout out everybody that showed me love for my birthday last week. Of course, it was my birthday last Friday. And I appreciate everybody showing love. And to kind of follow up on the conversation that we had. So one of the things that I forgot to mention with the homie Gucci Mandela, shout out Gucci Mandela, one of the things that he shared was a tweet regarding the whole thing with men not being excited about our birthdays. So this was an exchange on Twitter. So Sephora CB_X asks, why do men hate celebrating their birthdays so much, LOL? And Pato Shanquills, I guess that's how he pronounces his Twitter name, responded, we tired of receiving socks from people who expect boat cruises from us. So I thought that was hilarious, but whole time, I mean, I don't want to make it a thing about necessarily that, but I guess part of the thing that I was discussing with one of my coworkers yesterday was the fact that women are just a little bit more celebrated when it comes to their birthdays and just celebrations periods, because whether you're thinking about Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, birthdays, whatever it might be, Christmas, you know, like us men, and you know, we're part of the problem. We spoil women a lot of times, and not all women are like that. It's not, you know, a lot of women don't just make it about themselves or whatever, but at the same time, it's just a society where it's geared toward celebrating the woman and her special day. Whereas guys, we don't always get that same type of love. And sometimes we don't necessarily care, because Gucci Mandela, one of the things he just said was, I legit just don't care. You know, and a lot of guys are like that. But at the same time, one of the things that my coworker was saying, Miss Val was saying, was that, you know, men, we're special too. You know, our birthdays mean something. God created us, you know, and we should get our special day. So, you know, I definitely, I went into my 39th birthday not necessarily being that excited about it, but came out on the other side, and it ended up being the best birthday I've had in 5 years. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody that showed love. Without, you know, wasting too much time, I definitely want to let y'all know we have a packed, great show coming up today. The last interview in our special interview series for DC Startup Week, Nitesh Agrawal of Indies, founder and CEO of Indies. You'll hear a conversation he and I had leading up to DC Startup Week, talking about some things. You definitely want to make sure you tune in for that story. Of course, I'll be discussing the Carter 5 that came out on my birthday. I'll give a little bit about, you know, how I felt about, you know, him dropping it, and how he dropped it and all that. But we do have a poll going on right now, Facebook and Twitter. The poll is the Carter 5 proof Lil Wayne is quote unquote back? So it's pinned to the top of both our Facebook and Twitter pages. That's at Bars on Air across the board. And also, and this is something I've been waiting for what feels like months, we have a very special interview coming up at noon and a live performance by instrumental performing artist, finger drumming extraordinaire, and producer, DokBrass, who peeked his head in a second ago, you know what I'm saying? So he's already early. I love that. And, you know, I'm definitely excited to talk to this brother and, you know, hear his talent live, and you'll get to see this. This will be a first for us. So, you know, I'm definitely excited about that. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the music. This is the homie Go Hard Mike Lee. You heard him last week on the 5 Alarm Blaze Countdown. This is Wanna Be Rich off of Mozzie Dreams. And you're listening to the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Pop season, all season on these motherfuckers. Just wanna be rich. Yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Get the whip I want. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the crib I want. Get the bitch I want. Get the whip I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Hit that corner in the foreign like I'm James Bond. Title registration with my name's on. This gon' make you beat your feet. They be faking like. This gon' make you beat your feet. They be faking like. If you live in check to check, got a girl talking out her neck. All she do is fucking flex, but y'all still be having sex. Middle fingers up. If you feeling like I'm feeling, I be yelling fuck Trump. Then I go and text my dealer, I be repping BLM. But I really be the problem. In my pushing for the dub, rule to get me through tomorrow. Them bitches through my soul. See the heart I got is ball. Say I don't know what I want. That's my favorite line. See the music touch her soul, watch it make her mine. Y'all putting sex over business, that don't make it right. Preheat the 420, now it's baking time. See, it's baking time? Yeah, it's baking time. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Get the whip I want. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the whip I want. Just wanna be rich, I want. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be raw paper bamboo for the KD. Lately I've been seeing life clear as HD. Just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be. Wake up with my bills paid, go and get a check. Type of lick to keep your bills paid, go and place your bets. I'm too busy for the too busy for your text. Mama say I'm looking tired in the face, go get some rest. But I can't sleep, all I see is M's in my nightmares. Like my biddy with a crop and some Nike ass. Type that like they eat Chipotle, hold the rice, yeah. But my buzz on ice, yeah. Y'all do whatever to get up on the TV, poltergeist, yeah. Thule on my shooter, you would think that he was coolin', but I'm here to catch a bag and a flight, yeah. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. 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 Get the bitch I want, get the whip I want, get the crib I want. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Get the bitch I want, just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Yeah. Get the bitch I want, get the whip I want, get the crib I want, and the crib for mom. Just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich. Just wanna be rich, just wanna be rich.
If you're an urban contemporary indie artist, then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Ain't nobody from outside bringing down the property value. It's these folks shooting each other and selling that crack rock.
Well, how you think the crack rock gets into the country? We don't own any planes. We don't own no ships. But we are not the people who are flying and floating that in here. Why is it there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community?
Why?
Why? They want us to kill ourselves.
Back to sell the dope, back to sell the coke. We back on the block, ain't no hole. Back to rob, niggas back to killing, niggas back to mob, niggas back to hit, niggas back to sell it, back to catch an A, back to babies on the block, catch a strays, back to niggas in the trap, catch a plays. Are you judge? They just try and make a way. Back to handcuffs, we back in the system. Never black man and never black victim. Never good mother turn crack victim. Never local rapper turn rap victim. Never household without a father. Never mother can't let go the bottle. Never daughter teacher, daughter pop. She don't go, she can't even stop. Never uncle teacher, nephew cook it up. We don't give a how they look at us. Kick them out of school, we gon' get a two. When he see it up, we gon' lift it up. Never junkie writing on the yawn. Never young nigga with a gun. He was looking up to the drug. Didn't see it up, we gon' have some fun. Nigga, look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. You remember young evil. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. You remember young evil. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did to my people. Look what you did. Look what you did. Another girl wanna be a bad. She a queen, but she thinks she average. She about to do whatever for the bag. Give it son yeah, that's some sad shit. Never go with a real. Go to court with them, you gon' squeal. You don't ride with them, you don't kill with them. Better hold your people to go deal with. Who started the project? They started the project. It always a project. Somewhere we could die at. Somewhere we could slide at. They cannot deny that. Minimum wage all out in the hood. We cannot survive that. Who put the drugs in the hood? Who put the guns in the hood? They put that shit in the hood. Them people, they know what they doing. They want us to keep shit going. Generation out of generation. They don't want to say a nigga make it. If you make it, they try to take it. Who started the mob? Oh, he went to college trying to do right. He ain't got no job. White man in charge. And he got a daughter, she needs some pampers. He ain't try to rob, he ain't try to slam. He just want a job, but after the interview, nobody answered.
But what if poverty isn't natural? What if it's something that's created, and created by very specific public policies that are very often largely guided by very wealthy people?
Back to sell the dope, back to sell the coke. We back on the block and back to rob, niggas back to kill it, niggas back to mob, niggas back to hit, niggas back to sell it, back to catch an A, back to babies on the block, catch a strays, back to niggas in the trap, catch a plays. Are you judge? They just try and make a white man in charge.
Want to get down with the Bars Revolution? We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bars On Air.
Times was rough, thinking to myself I had enough of this. Suicide on my mind was stupid. Put the gun in my mouth, ain't had the balls to do it. It's crazy how fast life can quickly catch up. In the blink of an eye, you grown and dressed up. Flashbacks when I was young and on the corner. Never knew adulthood was right around the corner. Busted on bruising liquor, smoking marijuana. In the trap with crack stashed in my pajamas. Skipping school, watching Menace to Society. Training to be a statistic of society. Reaching for a star, hoping for tomorrow. Everything changed, going through these pains. What does it feel like? What does it feel like? Reaching for a star, hoping for tomorrow. And trying to find a way to make it through the day. What does it feel like? Okay. Lost all my friends, man, the streets ain't the life for me. Ignore the people who just wanted what's right for me. A bright future was something that I couldn't see. Lord help me please, cause the devil is blinding me. Try to move forward, but they keep on reminding me of my past. It's like they keep on rewinding me. Gotta be strong, can't let them belittle me. And be a part of their hatred and their misery. I got dreams and goals to be fulfilled. Ain't worried about these scheming hoes to be for real. A lot of us singers slip up in the nightfall, but Christ in me, I'm luminous when the lights off. I came far to big dreams from lost hopes. When I was weak, God stripped of me and my lost soul. But even when I'm doing right, I gotta still fight. Born from these pains of life. Tell me, what does it feel like? Reaching for the stars, hoping for tomorrow. Everything changed, going through these pains. What does it feel like? What does it feel like? Reaching for the stars, hoping for tomorrow. Trying to find a way to make it through the day. What does it feel like? Okay. As we proceed to give you what you need. Real business. Tone butter.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
That was the homie Tone Butter you just heard with What Does It Feel Like? Before that, we had the homie Blackout with The Trap, Wake Up. And starting off the set once again, you heard Go Hard Mike Lee with Wanna Be Rich. That's off that Mozzie Dreams, which is out right now on Spotify and Tidal. So, without further ado, as we wrap up our series with DC Startup Week, here we go.
Whether they're artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, politicians, activists, or simply folks you need to know, we've got the line to the movers and shakers of DC, Maryland, Virginia, and beyond. This is 15 minutes of game on the Balancing Act Radio Show. In the final installment of the Balancing Act Radio Show's interview series in partnership with DC Startup Week, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Nitesh Agrawal, founder and CEO of the multi-million-dollar tech business Indies. We discussed his humble beginnings into the startup world, gaining and losing his newfound wealth, the lessons he learned from his mistakes, and how through his alliance with DC Startup Week, he planned to give advice on how one person can start $1 million business.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
No problem. So, I was reading your bio, and one of the things that was interesting to me, you think about most 20-year-olds, and I know when I was 20, I was like in my junior year of college, and then you have like a lot of 20-year-olds at that time, you know, they're in their second year of being in the workforce, but by 20, you had already built startups, not just one, but a few startups. So talk about what got you interested in doing startups, especially at such a young age, and like, what do you attribute to being so successful at that point of your life?
So honestly, like, I was not successful when I was 20. It was kind of like I was very interested in building something around technology. I love technology. You know? Like, I love the idea of hacking things. I learned to code myself. Like, I was never taught to code, so I think I learned coding when I was 15 or 16 years old. So I just started like building websites, and when I was in college, I sort of built a website, and which got some traction, you know, but I had to shut it down because it was a sort of like the dean asked us to shut it down because it's sort of illegal. So I mean, we were just like putting exam papers online. And like the previous exam paper, not like this exam paper. For example, exam papers which were like which the professor distributed in the previous years, we're just putting it up online. The dean was like, you can't do that. So I had to shut it down. So yeah, and then like a couple of more like hacky ideas here and there. Like one idea was called MedBuddy, where we were sort of we wanted to list all the doctors in India online. So we sort of like just like. I wrote a code which will crawl all the websites, like scrape all the websites, all the doctor information, and we'll just put that up on our website. Like it's very simple product. But yeah, it went on well. Then I was bored of it, and I was like ditch it and do something else. That happened, and and after that, I think I got a very good job when I was in college, like really good job, like hyping, consulting kind of environment. And I sort of wanted to do consulting once because it kind of looks very lucrative from the outside.
Yeah.
So hence I thought I'll just like join a job.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how it all started, like, and I was I think 21 at the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, talk a little bit about what Indies is all about. So, you are the founder and CEO.
I'm the founder and CEO of Indies.
Okay. All right. And as I understand it, you are a company. You all work with non-tech entrepreneurs and help them become millionaires.
Yeah.
And so, how exactly do you do that?
Yeah. So it's actually a tech millionaire. So we help them launch tech startups.
Okay.
So what we have done, so Indies, the basic philosophy behind Indies is essentially it's speak on two sides.
Okay.
One side is to build the future of work.
Okay.
Where we enable people to work from anywhere they want to, like beaches in Bali, mountains in Alaska, beaches in Chile, or like or Miami or DC, like anywhere where they want to. They can choose their own work times and what kind of project that they want to work on.
Okay.
Like, so this is the idea behind the future of work. And the other side, what I have seen is like a lot of my friends, really good friends, they wanted to build a tech company, but if you don't know tech, if you don't know how to code, it's sort of like very difficult from the outside, like how will I build that app or how will I build that website. So I realized that there are like really good people out there in the world who want to live a lifestyle like this, like the future of work lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there are people out there in the world who can potentially like work with these people, and build an app or build a website or build any particular tech product. So what we have done is sort of like bridge this gap. So on one side we have identified like really high quality people, like the best of the best engineers, designers and product managers, like all the tech people. And the other side we work with like qualified non-tech people who can potentially build a $1 billion business. So essentially we qualify them first, like are you a good fit to work with us or not?
Right.
Only if you're a good fit to work with us, we'll work with you.
Gotcha.
And like a bunch of them, like a lot of them have raised millions in VC funding once they work with us. So they'll come to us when they are like they just have their idea. We'll brainstorm their idea with them. We'll validate the idea. We'll help them launch a product. And once they launch like their app or website, then we'll help them to like raise funds as well.
Okay.
So, like the entire end-to-end process. Okay. Is how we help them become rich.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So, give me an example of the type of tech app that you guys would work with to create.
So a lot of them actually. For example, our famous apps that we have built, our community has built, not we. So we don't do the development ourselves. Our community does it.
Right.
So, for example, we built Domino's Pizza, their mobile app.
Okay.
We work with Uber on their customer support team. Like these are things that our community has done via our platform. On the other side, how we have helped a few non-tech people. For example, there was a guy called Leo, like really brilliant guy. Went to Michigan, and then he studied MBA there. He wanted to build a tech company. He had this idea that he'll help high school kids get better counseling.
Okay.
So we built a mobile app which has like AI-powered chatbot in it. So school kids or like high school kids can ask this chatbot questions. Okay, if I have to apply to Harvard, what should be my SAT score, or what should I read about if I want to just understand how Harvard works or how Michigan works. So it will answer the questions automatically. And if the chatbot is not able to answer, it will automatically connect to the school counselor. So it's like an integrated platform. So he had this idea. We met him and he discussed the idea with me. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually a really great idea. So we sort of like used his idea, built the app from end to end, like design, development, and launched the app.
Okay.
And recently he has raised $5,000 in fund.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, just knowing that like an app can do like all of these things or like connect people to like all of these different ways. That's just amazing.
And this is the power of technology, And today you have to leverage the power of technology.
Yes.
You have to.
Absolutely.
Because and you can and honestly speaking, like 99% of the tech is yet to be done in this world.
Yeah, yeah.
99% of the tech.
Wow, that's mind-boggling to even think that.
I mean, we're just like starting with respect to technology. Like we are just like mobile apps are what, 10 years old? Just like 10 years old, man. Industries are like 200 years old. So look at from that spectrum, you know, like so you're just starting out.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So let me ask you this. So you've worked, you've had your own startups. You've built startups, and you've also worked, because I believe you've also worked with SoftBank and Ola.
Yeah. So Ola was the first company that I worked with.
Okay.
So Ola was sort of my first job. Ola is like India's Uber.
Right.
They are a giant now, like a $12 billion company, and I was their first employee. So I was, I did like a lot of work for them, like a lot of work. So from mobile app to like just going on ground, onboarding cabs, and understanding, figuring out the model, like how will the model work. And Uber was like just starting up at that time when we launched Ola. So we didn't have Uber as a mindset, like we didn't know what Uber was doing. So it was like sort of our own thing. But then of course we picked up a lot of things from Uber and Indianized it in some way. But it was sort of like a lot of the thinking was original at that time. Yeah. And then SoftBank was, I think it was in my later company. So it was called Housing.com.
Okay, right.
While I was at Housing.com, we raised money from SoftBank, $90 million.
I see. Yeah. Okay. So with all of this experience with startups and building a lot of helping to build a lot of companies and raising, because I think you said you raised as much as $150 million in venture.
$150 million. Yeah.
So with all of this access, you've also lost.
You lost money.
And I think, like we were talking about before, if you're in business long enough, you're going to take a hit.
Yeah.
So talk about what that experience was like for you and what you learned in the process from taking that hit.
So I was devastated, so I really so with Housing.com, I used to work like approximately like 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Like every day I used to like go to office and 14 hours every day.
Yeah.
I had really put in like a lot of hard work and time and energy into that company.
Yeah.
But I think the problem was that we were not making any money. So we picked up like a lot of VC fund, like from all the big investors of the world.
Yeah.
Like all the major investors, they were like investors of Housing.com. So this happened, and then so I was like I was very rich when I was 25.
Yeah.
Like I was a millionaire at age 25.
Yeah.
Can afford, like I had like an amazing flat and all the luxury I can afford.
Yeah.
Then I was broke.
Keep it real, huh?
I was actually broke, like I had no money to pay rent.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, it's like kind of like hard crash. Yeah. So I did not, I was stupid. I did not save any money as well. So I was like, oh cool, I mean, I don't need to save money. Yeah. So I did not save any money as well. So it's sort of, I mean, looking back, I think we did like a lot of mistakes. The biggest mistake was we were not making money.
Right.
Just relying on someone else's money and thinking that money is cheap. Money is not cheap, man.
Right.
Money is not cheap. Come on.
Yeah.
They are giving you money and they're expecting something in return, and you really have to take care of that expectations.
Right.
And do it like in a very upfront and light manner, which I'm like very very cautious about now. Like I will not pick up an investment unless I need an investment. As simple as that, right? So I become like more mature towards entrepreneurship, towards thinking about startups, towards thinking about technology. Yeah. Also, like I think we did a lot of mistakes with Housing.com. Like I mean, we were like a bunch of college kids building like a $200 million company. Yeah. Like we're actually very stupid, honestly. Like we did a lot of stupid things. We hired like very senior executives, like top executives from the world, and we would like treat them like you are not required here. Like they will not listen to them. Yeah. They'll just ask, hey, you're doing wrong. We'll say, nah, come on, we know what you're doing. Like things like that. So you should not do that. Come on. I mean, that person has some experience, and you should actually use that experience. Why not, right? And you should actually suck the experience of this person. Like integrate that experience into your company. This is how you build like great company. Also like hiring. So we hired like great people. We had, but a lot of bozos as well, which were not required for the company.
Yeah.
So now I know how to hire. I think I still do mistakes, but I rectify those mistakes quite early.
That's
yeah.
Yeah. That's an inspiring story within itself. I mean, just losing, but then learning from those mistakes and doing even better. Once you move forward.
No, but I was devastated. I was sort of I went into depression. I didn't know what to do. I mean, I look at it like that. You're very busy every day. And one day you're like, you don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
What do you do? Come on. I mean, Netflix, come on. How much Netflix can you watch, right?
Right.
So this happened. And then, but then I decided, I love to travel. I travel a lot.
Yeah.
So, I just booked a ticket to Vietnam for next day. And then I took the flight. I had no idea where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do in Vietnam.
Right.
I just took that leap of faith that things will be okay.
Right.
And it was a 1.5 month backpacking trip all alone in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Yeah. I'm sure. So let's segue into your connection with DC Startup Week, because you are leading a session. How can a single person build a $1 million company?
Yeah.
And all the things that we talked about in terms of your experience, are those things that you felt like were inspiration for you to do this session, or is it something like just experiences that you've seen, helping to build startup companies, something that you just felt like was necessary for people to know?
I think it is more on the lines of a help. Given that I have learned something, I sort of feel like it is my duty to give it back. Or to make others aware that and to give them courage and belief that they can do it. They can do this as well. It is actually more the thought process is actually this, rather than like a popularity game or something like that. How I actually got connected. So I actually moved to DC just a month back.
Oh wow!
I'm actually very new to DC. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Brand new.
Like very new to DC.
Wow!
Yeah. So I work out of this place called 1776, which is like amazing place. I love working out there.
Okay.
So there I actually met Adam, again brilliant guy. He gave me a lot of tips. He's like a CEO coach.
Okay.
So he gave me a lot of tips around how to become a better person, better manager, a better leader.
Right.
And we were just chatting, and he told me, hey, this is DC Startup Week. Do you know about it? I was like, no, I don't know about it. You know what? So he was like, oh, you know what? Let me connect you with Rachel. And this is how I got in touch with Rachel.
Okay.
And we spoke on the phone, and she's like, oh yeah, cool, let's do it.
Wow.
So yeah, this is how it happened.
That moved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially only being in DC for a month.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah. So from the session, what are some of the biggest takeaways that you would want somebody to come away with from your particular session?
Oh yeah, it is actually going to be a very informative session.
Okay.
I'll talk about I'll give some examples how certain people have done this, and then how do you use the resources which are out there today to build a company. For example, there are a lot of SaaS tools, automation tools, there are freelance services, there are agencies out there, and you can use all of these things in the right way to build a great company. So it will be more lines of examples, and what are the services that you can use, and how do you use those services, how do you vet those services to make sure that you are doing the work that you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, let our listeners know where they can get in contact with you and find out more about what Indies does.
Oh yeah, for sure. So they can reach out to us on our website. It's called indies.io, INDIEZ.io.
Okay.
And they can follow me on Twitter. It's Nitesh _ Indies, INDIEZ.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I'm very active on Twitter. So if you have any questions, just drop me a DM on Twitter. I'll just reply back.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Nitesh, for sitting down with the Balancing Act Radio Show, sitting down with me.
It was a pleasure, man.
And listeners, please make sure y'all follow him.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right.
To connect with Indies on social media, please follow them on Facebook at IndiesIO, that's INDIEZIO, on Instagram at Indies.io, and on Twitter at Indies_IO.
Thanks once again, switching around the words. Thanks once again to Nitesh Agrawal of Indies. Shout out once again to Rachel Koretsky of DC Startup Week for linking that up. And I'd just like to thank everybody who was a part of the DC Startup Week series, from Rachel Koretsky, Dr. Angela Reddix, Miss Eris T. Scales, Attorney Josh Radbod, and of course, once again, Nitesh Agrawal. Hopefully, we'll be able to continue this partnership next year, and people will be able to sign up next year and get in on it in advance. Remember, we still have the poll going on Facebook and Twitter. That's at Bars on Air. We'll be going into the conversation after this music break. Is the Carter 5 proof Lil Wayne is quote-unquote back? So make sure y'all vote in that poll if y'all haven't already. Like I said, I will share it in the Facebook Live. If you're watching via Facebook Live, if you haven't voted in the poll already, we're going to go ahead and get back to the music. This is Tamara Bubble with Give Me My Flowers, and you are listening to the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Treat me like a princess when you see me. Greet me like the queen that gon' beat it. Cut me my check when I hit your town. Yeah, give me my flowers before I hit the ground. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers. Cut me my check when I hit your town. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers before I hit the ground. Don't be posting no RIP. Don't be flapping your LIPs. Don't give me no lip very well when you could just tell me now. Don't throw me no homegoing party. Yo, they ain't gonna be lit for me. I want my roses are red before I'm too old to see. I want my violets are blue. Where are my diamonds and jewels? And when I'm running through your mind, why don't you buy me some shoes? Or maybe get me some food that puts me in a good mood. Hey, yo, I'm really not that picky. Jimmy John's or them chores. Cause I ain't got millions yet. I ain't on Billboard yet. I'm still doing YouTube covers. I ain't on private jets. But you know these bars are fly, and I deserve my respect. Yo, this ain't written in my will, but this my last request. Yes, treat me like a princess when you see me. Greet me like the queen that gon' beat it. Cut me my check when I hit your town. Yeah, give me my flowers before I hit the ground. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers. Cut me my check when I hit your town. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers before I hit the ground. You can bring all the flowers to my shows and tell your people it's on. Cause I'm already underground, so please don't wait till I'm gone. Especially when you know I'm popping, sing them words to my song. Look, I may never sign a deal. Hey yo, my word is bond. I heard you got that bill money. Don't bill on me, move on. These snakes are sniffing, smells funny, so I string them along. Look, I'm just flirting with these bars. Your favorite rapper's a girl, but when I steady give you life, I need you rocking my world. Cause I ain't got millions yet. I ain't on Billboard yet. I'm still doing YouTube covers. I ain't on private jets, but you know these bars are fly, and I deserve my respect. Yo, this ain't written in my will, but this my last request. Yes, treat me like a princess when you see me. Greet me like the queen that gon' beat it. Cut me my check when I hit your town. Yeah, give me my flowers before I hit the ground. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers. Cut me my check when I hit your town. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers. Give me my flowers before I hit the ground.
Bars on Windy Sea Radio.
I actually like that take.
Too much money to be walking around with. Count my money on my bank app, I am not clowning. Run my money up, I have the broke boys frowning. Swipe my card everywhere I go, I am not styling. Too much money to be walking around with. Count my money on my bank app, I am not clowning. Run my money up, I have the broke boys frowning. Swipe my card everywhere I go, I am not styling. Roll my money up, I am not clowning. SPs be the wavy kicks, you see me walk around in. Nigga like me lit, and I'm stylish. The CX in my clothing line, a nigga out here wildin'. Money on, Boma, Seto, Kaiba, smoking on. Peter Parker wife, broken hella right, finna roll up twice. I don't do the white, never pop his hand. I'ma hold her hand when she give me brain. I got the man, never roll the gram. I don't do the scam, tax money, yeah, legal ban. All my money on the plastic, please don't act all dramatic. Niggas don't want that static. First you walk into your home, let the light into your dome. Put the money, then we gone. Run it up and go home. Yankee sign her snaps, New York nigga in her back. Z-O-M-B-I dead. Too much money to be walking around with. Count my money on my bank app, I am not clowning. Run my money up, I have the broke boys frowning. Swipe my card everywhere I go, I am not styling.
Too much money to be walking around with. Count my money on my bank app, I am not clowning. Run my money up, I have the broke boys frowning. Swipe my card everywhere I go, I am not styling.
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback and Bars, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
That was your favorite Zombie with Bank App. And starting off the set once again, we had, why am I drawing a blank? Tamara Bubble with Give Me My Flowers. All right, so y'all already know we about to get into this whole conversation.
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback and Bars, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
So nice, gotta say it twice, apparently. But anyway, sometimes this virtual DJ thing does what it wants to do. But anyway, so let's get into this conversation about the Carter 5, Lil Wayne. Dropped on my birthday, my fellow Libra brother. What's crazy is that there was a whole thing that he may drop it on September 21st. So the word got out there, didn't drop. A lot of people were disappointed. So then he puts out this video saying, and repeatedly says, the Carter 5 is dropping on my birthday. And anybody that knows Lil Wayne knows that his birthday is September 27th. So, but the thing is, what's crazy is the word on the street before he even put that video out was that he was going to do it on the 28th, which is actually my birthday. And so when he put the video out, I was like, he's not dropping it on his birthday. He's not dropping it on his birthday. Every time he said the Carter 5 will be dropping on my birthday, I was like, no, it's not. Stop lying. Stop lying. It's the 28th. Stop playing. Your birthday is not the 28th. Your birthday is the 27th. Stop lying to the people. But regardless, if anybody fell for it, they had to wait another day to hear the Carter 5. And so, you know, when I heard it, I'm not going to lie, it was, I guess because we had been waiting so long, this is 5 years in the making. 5 years in the making. The album was first supposed to come out back in 2013. 5 years. And, you know, sometimes when you wait that long for a particular project, it could be one of those things where it's like, it's a letdown. It's a thing where it's like, okay, I've waited, and it doesn't live up to the expectations. But I can say that while it's not necessarily his best album, I will say the bars are definitely there. Shout out my bro, M. Dot, on the live right now. You know what I'm saying? He was like scorching. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many like good moments on the Carter 5. So, you know, I want to talk about a few that kind of jumped out to me, and this is a thing that I want to start doing when I break down albums. So this is my plan for keeps section. So these are the songs that I feel like, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, if I'm judging an album, I'm judging it by the 5 strongest songs and some of the songs that could be taken off. So one of the songs that really jumped out to me was Perfect Strangers. It's one of the best produced songs on the album. I mean, now granted, you know, I've never really been into Lil Wayne doing a whole bunch of singing, because like his singing voice is just, I feel like what has happened in a lot of rap and hip hop is partially because of Lil Wayne, and you could also say partially because of Kanye West. But even still, with him doing as much singing as he does on this song, it's so well produced. I love the music to it. And it's just a well-written song about two people pretty much become like ships in the night. And just, I mean, the title says it all. It's not a lot of lines, like if you just read the lines that really jump out at you, it's just one of those songs you have to really listen to. So I really like Perfect Strangers. Don't Cry, featuring XXXTentacion, the late XXXTentacion. Musically, it's one of my favorite songs, and it got stuck in my head. Like, since I listened to the album, that song has just been stuck. I cannot get that song out of my head, among many. But like, that song is just there. It's just a good song, and I wasn't really, I'm not gonna say I wasn't expecting it because XXXTentacion was on it. Like, I actually liked his album. It's just, you never know when it comes to those kind of collaborations. But it was a collaboration that worked. The most powerful lines, the 4 most powerful lines in that song, where he was like, in the second verse, he said, "Talent is God-given, be grateful. Fame is not a given, be humble. And conceit is self-driven, drive carefully. Stay in your own lane, seat buckled." Like, I mean, that's what Lil Wayne can give you. You know, amidst all of the shenanigans and histrionics that Lil Wayne can do, that's, to me, what he's capable of. My third favorite song was Dope, featuring Snoop Dogg. And more than anything, it's not even necessarily that it has like a bunch of like super duper bars in the song. It's just, I love the sample of the Explosive on it. Love the sample of Explosive. I just thought, you know, how they did it, the music they put around it, and the fact that they brought like Snoop and Lil Wayne together. You know, I always like that combination. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I want to say they had like little jabs for each other at one point over like some gang stuff, but apparently they squashed it enough to be on the same record, which I think is dope. Dedicate, that's my second favorite. Has so many bars, and Dedicate is one of those songs that I feel like it's more about the flow and the delivery of the bars more than it is about the bars, even though it's a lot of like witty wordplay that's in there. And I think but what's crazy is, with all the lines he had, the one that jumped out to me that I had to like stop, I had to stop the tape when he said it was, "I turned a dam into a God's plan." I was just like, wow. Like, I really had to stop and like, wow. Like, the greatness of that line will go over a lot of people's heads, because it's a simple line in the midst of so many like great lines, but it's a great line on its own. Like, a lot of times when I read back lines, it's like it's paired with another line, but that one on its own stands alone, and just kind of, it's the cream that rises to the top for me for that song. And then my favorite of all is Mona Lisa with Kendrick Lamar. And it's crazy because it's hard for most artists that are on a song with Kendrick Lamar, the best Kendrick Lamar. But I gotta say, Wayne was the star of the show on this song. He was the star of the show. He had his storytelling. I felt like I never really understood how good he could tell a story until Mona Lisa. or I may have overlooked how well he could tell a story with Mona Lisa. Man, the lines in this song, one of the coldest lines, he say, I buy the bee that you feeling, cause you thought she was an angel. That bee ain't no angel. I treat her halo like a frisbee. I was like, I laughed so hard in the car when I listened to it, cause I listened to the album twice. And when I heard that line the second time, I was like, this dude is a fool. This dude is a plumb fool for that. You know? I mean, it was just like one of those lines that was just crazy. And then, I want to say it's in the second verse, where he say, I ain't here to F around. Caught you with your pants down. You know what it is. Put your effing hands up. List that's enough. That you can put your hands down. And then he looked dead at her and he shook his head at her. She a good actress and you a dead actor. You'll be dead after we get what we're after. If Liz call you daddy, she about to be a bastard. Oh, oh my goodness. It was, I mean, like, in the midst of telling such a vivid story where you see everything happening as he's saying it, you feel like you right there with him. You feel like you're the guy that's about to get robbed. And like that series of lines just comes at you. It's just like, it's genius. It's like genius lyricism and like simple lyricism. Cause like I said, I'm one of those type of people, I look at how it's written versus how it's delivered. And if you look at a lot of Lil Wayne's lyrics, just face value, a lot of his lyrics are just, you know, they're simply written. But when he delivers them and how they come at you and how he says it, how he delivers it, that's so much of like being an MC or being a rapper, like a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like that was really the star of the show for me. Now, then we get to the songs that I consider trimming the fat. So, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, start this ish off right. I think that's Mac Main and Ashanti. Now, granted, a lot of folks was, you know, kind of clowning Ashanti for being on it. Personally, I don't have a problem with Ashanti being on it. No problem whatsoever. Because I feel like she fits the song. However, you had some people that felt like, you know, it's one of those. In fact, the homie Kingpin Slim, in his detailed review of the album, if you haven't read it, I shared it on the Bars page on Facebook, so make sure you check that out. It's one of the most comprehensive reviews I've seen, and accurate reviews. One of the things he said is that, you know, he felt like it was dated, like it was a big hit in 2008. And so, you know, like the whole dated thing, you know, that's another story. But for me, I'm not really a fan of like Mac Main's hook. And I feel like it just could have been left off the album. It wasn't a necessary track. Another track for me, and I see a couple of people like listed it on the Facebook Live as one of their favorites. It's not one of mine, and that's Uproar. I think it's one of Wayne's, in terms of his showing of bars, it's weak. And then I just felt like, okay, I understand like wanting to rebuild a classic or revisit a classic, but I felt like he did a better job with the explosive sample on Dope with Snoop Dogg versus Uproar revisiting Special Delivery by G-Dep. I felt like that was one of them songs like that really couldn't have been touched, you know, and feel like it shouldn't have been touched. So I wasn't really a fan of it. And I'm always hit or miss when it comes to Swiss Beats anyway. Sometimes I like Swiss Beats stuff. Sometimes it's like, all right, Swiss, you know, like you could have said that one. So that's another one that I would have left off. But I know a lot of people like it because it does have energy. It just doesn't really do anything for me. Like, it's a skippable one for me. And then the one song that I the most am like, Wayne, you didn't need to put this on here, was Demon. I like the sample, but I can't vibe with what Wayne is talking about on the song. And for me, like flow-wise, delivery-wise, it's his weakest flow on the album. It's just, I really feel like he definitely could have scrapped that song from the album. But for the most part, I thought it was a good album. Like, I thought it was a solid album. Not his best, but not his worst either. And there are a lot of songs on the album that I would bump again, or I would bump the album off the strength of the particular songs that I named. Let me just read some of the comments that people said. Mike M. Fan of Uproar, fan of Don't Cry. Sis Aisha, she said Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, hold on. is my sis, of course. Okay, I don't understand the message, sis. I need you to clean that up a little bit because it's a little confusing. Love you though. Oh, and she said open safe. Yeah, I like open safe too. That's a slept on one. That's a slept on one. Especially in that second verse, he goes in on open safe. Becky from Let's Be Clear, along with Neen, on right here, WinDC Radio, every other Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Along with Mike's Corner, they swap Tuesdays. Becky, she said her favorites Uproar, Don't Cry, Mona Lisa. Good songs. Oh, okay, I get you, sis. So she said Dark Side of the Moon. And the irony of you saying that, sis, that you say it reminds you of the missus is the fact that of who's on the song. Oh, that's ironic. Like, for real. M. Dot, he said Mona Lisa is definitely on my list as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good songs. A lot of good songs I didn't mention. You know, like Open Safe, Open Letter. That's another good one. Can't Be Broken. I thought that was a good one as well. I mean, it's a solid album. I mean, check it out. It's lengthy. It's really long, but it's still a good album nonetheless. And I definitely think it's worth the listen. But without wasting too much more time, we're going to go ahead and get into the Fish Grease Pick of the Week. And remember, the poll is still open. If you have not voted, it's open to 12:30. Is the Carter 5 proof Lil Wayne is back? It's on Facebook and Twitter, pinned to the top of both pages. That's at Bars on Air. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and get into the Fish Grease Pick of the Week. So, enjoy.
If somebody tell you he hot, man, you know everybody hot now, man. He fish grease.
That's how we feel about this track right here. This is the Fish Grease Pick of the Week, only on Bars, on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Top Rank Records.
Ooh, dice can't fade him.
15, a young nigga had big dreams. Hit the block, hustle just to get cream. Cash rules everything around me. Used to clown me in high school, now they're trying to surround me. Rep the East Coast, more than most y'all. Hold it down so that we don't fall. Eyelids low, minds bloodshot. Keep my 7 up cause my buzz hot. Summertime cooling it in South Lawn. Hold it down for my city whenever I'm gone. High hopes, no surprise life. Never forget where I come from and earn my stripes. Yeah, you know it, I'm not your average. You got a bad bitch, I roll bad women. G'd up, rocking the Terps hat. East over the land over, you heard that? Ox boy, I'm on a hill, down to the day I die, you know what it is. Cool breeze, smoking on the best Murray. AX on, and my Asperries. I'm living life on the road, traveling the globe, putting my team on. You see the women come and go, haters is gon' hate, so whoever ain't bro. Down this yellow brick road, everything I touch turn to gold. Don't ask me who I do this here for. We go party tonight, ain't nothing like home. Shout out to my team, that's the first stop. Shout out to my hood, that would've worked spot. Shout out to my mom, shout out to my dad. Always held me down to the very end. MD, you know we getting it. Hustle to survive, that's how we living it. Put some liquor out for Damo and a blunt for Drew. I miss my homie Phil, I'm looking up for you. DMV, ain't nothing like it. Them other haters, we been on the ride. Support the home team, keep it unified. Utilize all the love you getting live. Game day, cooling with a couple friends. Some like the stars, some like the skins. Some people love to brag, but some bet to win. First down, like I said again. Drinks up, I'm diving off the deep end. Park nightclub on the weekend. Smoke some, baby, bring your whole crew. Top rank records, we making our own rules. Zone 4, welcome to my home, fool. Fresh from head to toe, looking so cool. phone blowing up when I touch down. Showing all my love to my hometown.
Ridge Road to Smash Strip. Take a trip to 49 Front Cross, rest in peace trick. On the court like every day. Pick up games where we don't play. X2 Dub 4, take a ride, you wait. Paradise, they got that ice. Mayfair don't play fair. Hit the Ave, walk the bridge, shout out the ball, every returns. Catch me down the Landover, on my way to Eastover, Oxon Hill, Southview, 36 in Minnesota. Where you from? Throw it up. What you drinking? Pull it up. If it's loud, roll it up. We in the club, getting look. Fat Trail, Wale, Light Show, Shy Glizzy, Big G, Backyard Polo. We for the
Thanks for
city.
holding me down when I was coming up. Appreciate you showing me love. Thanks for holding me down when I was coming up. Appreciate you showing me love. Thanks for holding me down when I was coming up. Appreciate you showing me love. Thanks for holding me down when I was coming up. Appreciate you showing me love. I'm living life on the road, traveling the globe, putting my team on. You see the women come and go. Haters is gon' hate, so whoever ain't grow. Yeah, down this yellow brick road. Everything I touch turn to gold. Don't ask me who I do this here for. We gon' party tonight, ain't nothing like home.
Top Rank Records.
Ooh, dice can fade.
More topics, more segments, more music means more bars after this.
Win DC Radio brings to you the app. Yes, the app is now available on your Google Play and your App Store, on your iPhone or your Android, any of your pads that you might be using, be it if it's an iPad, iPad mini, or if you have a Samsung Note, it doesn't matter what you have, any mobile device, you can get the app so you can listen where you're at to Win DC Radio.
The Shops at Iverson is now undergoing a transformation, creating a mixed-use center where the community can come together to eat, shop, relax, and feel connected. The Shops at Iverson is a 600 KSF mixed-use property consisting of retail and office space now available. Located inside the Beltway on Branch Avenue, Maryland, just minutes from downtown D.C. It's an exciting time at the Shops at Iverson. Several beautiful renovation projects are ongoing, transforming the Shops at Iverson into the new safe community hub. DMV, get ready to enjoy the new food court. Opening late spring, early summer, featuring new restaurants like Chipotle, Quickway Hibachi, Tropical Smoothie, Wingstop, and free Wi-Fi. The Shops at Iverson, the original home of the world-famous Snickerdoodle cookies, is completing several cosmetic improvements to the mall interior, facade, and parking garage. The Shops at Iverson is the new home of Go Win Media, comprised of the DMV's premier internet radio stations, Go Radio Live and Win DC Radio. For updates and more details, check out shopiverson.com. That's shopiverson.com.
What's good, everybody? This your boy AJ Throwback, and when I'm plugging away at work and need a shot of energy, I'm tuned into the hot topics, dope music, and wild styles of my brothers and the kings of Monday night, Coach Taylor and Ransom Relic. His Breakout Kings Radio Mondays from 8 to 10 p.m. only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app.
Powered by GoWin.media.
Foreplay the Orgasm Show. I am your host, Hot Toddy, along with the Turn Up team, Miss Lolly and Showtime. Foreplay the Orgasm Show is each and every Tuesday night from 8 to 10, bringing you the sexy slow jams with very adult interactive conversation, only on WinDC Radio.
We hope you didn't go too far. It's time for the second hour of the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. Welcome back. We are currently in studio with our special guest, and to protect his identity, because we are talking to a superhero, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is the one, the only, DokBrass.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the most different interview that we've done on our show history and actually in Win DC history.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I'm happy to be your breath of fresh air.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate you coming through. So, first and foremost, how was the drive? Because you came from New York, right?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was like 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of New York are you
in? In like northern Westchester County.
Okay.
In the woods, in those mountains. Yeah. About an hour north of Manhattan, so like I'm close enough to the city where I can touch you guys without having to be surrounded by you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Yeah. So let's get the most obvious question out of the way. All right. So if anybody knows who you are, if anybody has seen like your Instagram and any of your other social media, you are you actually went from just wearing just showing your hands to wearing a hat and a bandana, but then you had a special mask made.
Yeah.
Was it a guy named Patrick Louis? Is that his name?
Oh man, I'd have to look up his name because I only knew him through his Instagram tag.
Okay.
Right? It was actually one of my best boys who found him. We had kind of gone through a couple of masked people.
Okay.
And he was the one who had found him. And if anyone's ever likes the mask and wants his information, feel free to DM me. I'm open communication. I'll find him for you.
Yeah.
Because it's like special effects and a bunch of numbers. But shout out to him for making such a dope mask. And the design was my boy's originally, and we sent it to him, and he kind of did his own take on it. So it's a unique design. Yeah.
And, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was just like it was always intended for me to have a mask, but I wanted to start providing content.
Okay.
When you know what I mean, like when the time was right, you just feel like the time was right. So I just figured out just showing my hands at first would get people a vibe of what I do.
Yeah.
And then once the mask would be made, then people can see the full superhero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So I actually saw the story behind the name DokBrass on Instagram, but just explain it for my listeners.
The origin behind the name?
Yes.
So it's a bit of a combination of a couple of my favorite things, and the name comes from a comic book hero from Planetary, which is my favorite comic book writer is Warren Ellis, and in Planetary there's a one issue where this guy Axel Brass, who is an homage to Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, for like pulp comics, right?
Yeah.
So Axel Brass in this comic was like this guy who was in there, and I thought he was super badass. Just like solved his own, he was like immortal functionally, and his whole intention was just trying to find the perfect way to solve everything for everybody.
Yeah.
And I just like that. Then there's the brass in terms of brass instruments. I like swing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear that.
yeah, right. And so I figured out it would be kind of, the kind of music I like, and then the comic book reference, really shine the nerd that I am.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I can dig that. And then one of the things I think either we talked about it in conversation or you may have mentioned this in your bio. So I know that preserving your physical identity is really, it's one of those things that's connected to like making it more about the art.
Correct. Absolutely. I mean, like my favorite hip hop artist is MF Doom.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like if it's not obvious, right? And I loved. I mean, I envy him because he is a mystical being to be seen. I don't know how he pulls it off in today's modern world of technology.
Right.
Especially like when I have to try and connect with certain people, it could be tough to just like hide that. So I respectively ask for people who do inevitably find out what I might look like to keep it on the hush hush. It'll be our little secret. We'll do a little dap. I'll dap you, be like, look, you found me. You found Waldo.
Right.
And then we'll go from there. But yeah, I just want people to not have to judge the way that any individual looks by the music that they make.
Yes.
And I want this to, and like any thematic piece of art, you want to stay consistent to itself. You don't want there to be a mashup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So DokBrass is a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's intended to be. He wants to help people. Right. So confusing, the Michael in me, right, versus the DokBrass.
Yeah.
I just want there to be a clear difference in there.
I understand
people,
that.
Right?
Totally understand that. Yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was, and it's kind of connected to what we've been talking about already, is one thing that you say is about yourself is his mission is to rise as a symbol in hip hop culture and overcoming negativity with positive actions, as well as motivating others with his rare form of integrity, outlook on life, and musical styling. So, for you, what does integrity look like via your brand and your way of creating? What exactly is your outlook on life? And how does your music embody that outlook in a way which stays true to your artistic integrity while still being influential?
Snap. Well, okay, so I'll try and take that one piece by piece because there's like 3 questions in there, right? But I like how we're getting deep with it. So it's something that I think it's tough to put into words.
Yeah.
It's something that needs to be seen, and it's something that you acknowledge when it happens to you.
Right.
And not to say that it's as simple as holding the door for people, but it's just taking an extra step to try and be positive to someone else. You never know what they're going through, right? So a rare form of integrity is a combination of standing up for what's right. You know, not being afraid to be tough.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm tough, so for all listeners, don't come up and DM me being like, yo, what's up? You know, I ain't tough. I'm just saying that I'll stand up for it.
Right.
And I'll leave you a bruise you won't forget, even though you take me out. You know what I mean? Because I'm a glass cannon, right?
I feel you on that.
But it's about making a point, right? So to me, a rare form of integrity is about more than just talk, follow through.
Yeah.
In the actions that you hope others are seeing. Because obviously, especially in today, it's a very tough climate that's out there right now, right?
It is.
And I think that, and that's what I mean also by motivating others to do the same, right? Is, you know, when you see someone out there who's having a hard time, what do you really have to lose by helping them out?
Right.
A couple bucks, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
is it really worth, you know, that lack of connection to your fellow brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
You know, like whenever I see anybody, I say thank you, brother, and thank you, sister. You know what I mean? Because to me, we're all humans.
Yeah.
So it's like, stop trying to view things in a certain way, and that's what the mask is there for as well.
Yeah.
Because again, if you're judging me as just, obviously people can tell that I'm white from my hands, right? So it's like, you know, so it's a surprise. But, you know, to judge just like a bearded white dude for what he is versus, you know, what the music and message is about to represent.
Right.
And so we're all brothers and sisters in this, and representing a rare form of integrity is to not be afraid to say what's right when it happens. You know what? I'll give you an example. Someone who is getting berated in a store for no reason. One can technically argue that you don't know the full story of what could be going on.
Right.
But I believe deep down that there is an obvious level that needs to be withheld. Absolutely. No one deserves to be put down and name-called in such a manner when we're talking about a professional business. So if someone's ordering coffee and they're insulting the cashier behind them, I'm just saying take it a little bit nicer. So I'll call them out on it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. You know, letting people know what's up. And sure, they'll be like, go F yourself. They'll tell me to go F myself the same way that they're telling everybody else to, because that's the person that they are.
Right.
But if I do it, then everyone else sees me do it, then maybe they might do it.
Yeah.
And maybe if there's an overwhelming majority of people who are willing to do it, those people will watch where they say that stuff.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Lead by example. Yeah.
Obviously, the classic saying, be the change you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. So. Yeah. That's dope.
Now, I think that, and I don't know how many of those questions were knocked out in that explanation. So let me see where we had, because you wanted essentially my philosophy on life.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, you know, again, to try and encapsulate some of these, because that was a great question. To encapsulate some of these in such a short period of time, like off the dome, is a little tough, because I find my strength is in conversating with people.
Yeah.
And my goal wouldn't to be, when I say that my goal is to be a symbol in hip hop, I mean, like, look, the Preacher, right? KRS-One.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all know who the Preacher is.
That's right.
Right. So like he has it down. Right, and to a level, he's as much of a motivational speaker as much as he is a hip hop artist, a musical artist.
Right. Yeah.
And I want to bring that same level from a different perspective.
Okay.
Right. At least a nerdy perspective, because that's my whole jive.
Yeah.
Is being nerdy.
Yeah.
You know. So my philosophy on life really just ends up being this: is you know, that you, no matter how you view it, you have a limited time here. Okay, so how you decide to use it is going to be up to you. I would suggest using it in a positive manner.
Agreed.
Whether it be for, even if you can manage it just to be positive yourself, I can guarantee you that positivity will transfer to another human, regardless of you actually like doing something to another human. You know what I mean? Like actively. So my philosophy is that really it's just another day in paradise. And I know that sounds super cheesy.
I like that though.
But the reason why for me, I've had health issues in the past, right?
Okay.
And when you have, and I guess it comes with having certain health issues, you get a certain perspective where it's like, if I were born in the early 1900s, I wouldn't be here right now. Okay, and technology has changed vastly over the time.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
You get a different perspective of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like what I have, what happens to me is common enough where technically now it could be handled like on the street with like makeshift items.
Right.
But if we didn't know what it was back in the day, and people would just like die from it in their sleep.
Right.
Right. So like when you understand some things like that like the average human lifespan has tripled, in terms of like from a century ago to now, that's an amazing feat. And so you kind of have to enjoy what you have left.
Absolutely.
So every day is paradise if you make it that way, and that's why I say that.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you're like, hey, I woke up and I'm still pretty,
right.
Get on out there and hit it.
Yeah.
And every day can be a beautiful day if you allow it to be, even when negative things happen to you, because it's how you channel that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But that's a mindset thing, and that's something that has to be, again, like I was talking about. You talk to people.
Right.
And when you talk to people as an individual, maybe you can get a better understanding of why they think the way that they think, and you can maybe find a barrier to raise that can help them.
Yeah.
I call it like adding a filter into your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say STFU before. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just basic filters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you think about today. Today's environment, someone says one name, and it's game over.
Right. Right.
Okay?
Right.
I don't even have to utter it. We already know what it is, right? One name and it's game over. So when you're in that kind of environment, I mean, like, what do you do? Right? So that's why I think that the realizing that every day you have the opportunity to make active change. You could have lived, call it retribution for some. You could have lived a negative life, most of it.
Yeah.
If you decide to the next day that you actually want to make active change, it's how you end the journey, I would say, more so than how the journey goes.
Right.
But not so far as to say that, because if you've been a villain your entire life, you can't necessarily say that people will consider you a hero at the end of your tale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
Tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. Yeah. But yeah, good. I mean,
I ramble. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yo, bro,
I mean,
that happens.
look, but you dropped some jewels there. You know what I'm saying? Drop some serious jewels, especially, like Another Day in Paradise. I love that. Absolutely love that.
It's overused in some way because I feel like some people say it sarcastically.
Right.
Tone of voice, like, they say it's not just what you say, but how you say it kind of thing.
Right.
If you are able to really let what you're saying, like, kind of ring into the other individual, they'll get it.
Yeah.
They'll get it.
Yeah, it has to be genuine and sincere in order
for
for people to truly receive it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
And that comes back to rare form of integrity. You know what rare form of integrity is? Like, not being different around other people.
Right.
Like, that's rare.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hides themselves, man.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty open book besides my identity,
right.
which I know sounds ironic. You know what I mean?
I was thinking.
Yeah, I'll tell you everything about me except for who I am. You know what I mean?
but that's different. That's different.
Yeah. But again, we're talking about the art now versus that. But I understand that people in music especially. I feel like there's generally three things that people have to attract. They have to like your music. They have to like, what you represent.
Yeah.
And they have to like how you like maybe the way you look.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now that doesn't mean you have to fit within a certain fashion sense. I'm just saying you just have to have an appeal to your character.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I'm a solid 6 in real life if people want to see me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a 10. I'm a solid 6, 6.5 if I'm reaching, right? But if, when it comes down to just like having that identity separation there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People can ask me whatever they want, and I will always answer, especially if you find out who I am.
Right.
And I think that that's rare.
Yeah.
Don't hide yourself, people. If that's what, why? Just fake.
That's one of the things that you and I were talking about before you came in. Like, just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. You know.
And it's
be
tough.
yourself all the time.
Yeah, and I'm a musical, and you know what? That's why I call myself a musical artist instead of and less of a producer.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a producer is someone who can see things from start to finish.
Right.
And I certainly can if put in the position.
Mhm.
You know, I've been a musician my whole life. I just don't have all the instruments in my house.
Right.
Right. What I have is a turntable and an MPC 2500 and a bunch of records.
Right.
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 So we do what we do. But when it comes down to seeing that, people are like, "Oh, can you make me, you know, a blank type beat?"
Right.
It's like, no, probably not. I mean, I can if I had all the tools. Like,
Yeah.
you know, hey, you want me to come into a studio and I'll use all your equipment? Sure. I can, you know, make something with that. But when I decided to focus myself as to what it is that I am, I'm an instrumental artist because I like to make the music that I wanted to hear.
Right. Right.
And I hope that transcends a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, saying what others have said, they say some people have said that I have like a sound that's familiar yet different.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brings back those boom bap feelings while still kind of having a relatively modern touch or like something that's just at least a little different.
Yeah,
you know?
because the thing I like about what you do is that, yeah, it does tie in boom bap, but it's very like, if you ever watch like those old time movies and like a lot of the sound behind it,
Yeah,
or
word.
like the swing music, or like just real kind of jazzy type music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
there's certain elements that you pull into your music that, like, as you know, as somebody who, you know, identifies himself as a producer.
My man.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It's
yeah, for
like,
sure.
but I appreciate that because that's the type of stuff I've always wanted to do with my own instrumentals. Like I like how you pull in like movie samples and put them over top of the instrumentals and things like that, because it feels less like an instrumental and feels more like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, thank you. And that's how I wanted to actually be. That's where I wanted to try and pursue that niche. You know, there's a lot of great music out there.
Yeah.
I found an underground, like, I guess he's a French artist. I can't remember, like Lissindri, something like that. But point is, I found him underground guy.
Okay.
Super dope, chill music, chill hop, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
But very musical,
Okay.
right? And it's stuff like that I feel like we try and make a difference in. Is there's a musician's aspect to why people would attribute it to being like a movie score.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
People think it's more like background music and stuff like that because it's got that musical improvisation and organicness to it. When classic hip hop, you know, it's one of the things that I loved about it, but also wanted to change about it in my own eyes was that it's a straight beat.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm halfway through, I'm like, yo, this guy's ripping this. If only there was a change up. You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
but that wasn't the culture back then. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
like, here's the cut. We found this, like, here's the flip, and you're going to spit over this, and let's let the MC, you know, rock himself.
Yeah.
So, but that's something I always wanted to change. And, of course, other artists have really helped flex that, and motivations to myself as well. But it's something that I wanted to use for the MPC in terms of finger drumming live. There's a handful of people who can do it to a fairly high standard, and I humbly try to consider myself to be reaching for that high standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I just try and do more polyrhythms, maybe some different time signatures.
Yeah.
Tempo changes, and, you know, doing enough different things where even the high-end finger drummers are going to have to really practice to do what I do.
Yeah.
Not saying that they can't do it, that they're going to have to sit inside that session for a solid night.
Right.
To learn my rhythms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah, at least that's what I try to do.
Yeah. I think that's what sets you apart from anybody else that I've seen do it. I mean, really, there's only a few people I've seen do it, but like, you're definitely special in the way, like, your rhythms, and like, it was a couple of songs I was listening to on a brass tail. I forget. I think it may have been the Vigilante.
That's my
man.
Yes. Nah, all right, because I gotta shout something out real quick. All right, because you know, we have producer friends.
Right.
Yo, what do you guys think of this? Right, I'm putting together an album. Here's some tracks I'm thinking about putting together.
Yeah.
And a couple people were like, the Vigilante, I don't know if should be on that. And I was like, go F yourself. I'm putting that thing on there. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite personal favorite tracks I've ever done because of the number of changes that are in that.
Yeah.
And
it's very intricate.
A very KMD you know, was the main inspiration behind that.
Yeah.
You know, for people who don't know KMD, go check him out. It's old school.
Yeah, it's dope. But yeah, like I appreciated like the different kind of rhythms that you threw in there. It's very like layered, very intricate, and like if somebody were trying to do that live, they would have a difficult time. Trying to do that, because I mean it's man, it's special. I'm glad you put it on there. I'm glad you put it on there. And I gotta say, two of my other favorites that I personally like on A Brass Tail are The Count.
Word.
And I think it's The Awkward Date.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are two of my favorites as well. I mean,
That's
the whole
awesome.
thing goes. I mean, it's just such a different sound that I appreciate. You know.
Fun fact about The Count. That was another one. Not that everyone loved that one that I would send that to in general. But the thing that I really wanted to do about that one that's special is that most of the beats in 5/4.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
It's not in regular timing. I tried to like that, and it's one of those things where I was like, on my first piece that I want to put out, I want to show people that hip hop can be a little awkward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little awkward. Right. So like again, I try and represent myself in music. So what am I? Awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's put it in there. Let's add that extra step. Lose people a little bit.
Yeah.
So fun fact about The Count is that 5/4. If you guys didn't know that, and were wondering why your head was kept on bobbing a little bit off. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, man, this guy needs to learn timing.
And explain, because you know we understand it, but explain to like my listeners who may not understand time signature what that means.
All right. So you know, in a standard beat, 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I repeats. Just count 5 instead of 4.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Right, and the big signifier is that it's where there will be 2 snares in the like when I do it, you know. So when you listen to it you'll notice that there's 2 snares when we start back up, and that's how you can count the 5.
Right.
You know, but yeah. So I mean, the 5/4 just pretty much means adding 1 extra beat to the measure, so that you know, in the end, it feels like it'll line up.
Right.
But during it kind of adds a little extra, keep you on your step. You know, I don't do too many awkward time signatures because we're in hip hop.
Right.
I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm above 4/4.
Right.
When the best part about hip hop, in my humble opinion, is that it encapsulates the groove.
Right.
That's like you know, that's like my jam.
Yeah.
It encapsulates that groove, man.
Yeah.
And so I try and still keep it groovy, but sometimes we'll do a change up.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you got it. Sometimes you do have to give them that Pink Floyd money real quick. You know.
That's it. That's it.
Sometimes.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, sometimes you just gotta stay within that pocket.
Yeah.
You know,
and normally it's always adding an extra beat. I don't. You know, actually 3/4 ends up being fairly popular. I think one of the jams I have loaded is in 3/4.
Okay.
And this is gonna sound super terrible because you know, when you mention theory numbers and all that fun stuff. And guys, I don't really know theory that well. Okay, it's all feeling.
Right.
It's all feeling.
Yeah.
I jam what I want to jam, and if it's in time, then it's in time, and let's have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what it should be about. I mean, you could be technical all day, but it's got to be about the feeling.
Yeah, man.
It's got to be.
Try and ride that line between looking technical and not being technical.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could definitely dig it. So, let's talk about your joint project with D Cure.
Zark and Bars.
Zark and Bars, Speakeasy Safari. So, talk about how you two linked up, and you know, what the experience was like working with an MC for an entire project.
Oh, sure. So D Cure and I have been in touch for a while. We met through the group Cypher Circuit.
Okay.
All right. So shout out to them. They're like a hip hop networking community.
Okay.
And mostly around MCs. There's some producers in there, but there could always be more, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes down to, but Dakir and I, we found each other because I submitted a beat for something called Murder the Beat. MCs would spit over it, right? And someone's judged the winner, and he quite literally murdered the beat.
Wow.
You know, he crushed it.
Yeah.
So from then we kept in touch, and actually that's the song. Wow, I'm blanking on it right now, just because I've had to go through that thing so many times, and we actually changed the name. I want to say it's not Stop. You know what? I'll update you guys later when I remember it. But the point is that because we put that on Speakeasy Safari, that track is on there, and then he's in like the Midwest, so all of our stuff is communicating through the internet.
Okay.
So working with him was a combination of easy, but just open. It's very open. You don't have that hands-on touch sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but it was super easy because I sent him a basic beat, a basic version of it, as I call it, right? The reference. He then sends me back an acapella with a reference of the acapella over the beat, right? Yeah. And then I reshape the beat over top of his vocals.
Okay.
So it ends up being a very simple message, and I'll send it to him and be like, how do you feel about this? Do you want to change up any patterns here? You know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts. And so that we do have that communication there, but it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The longest part of it was, organizing the other stuff that we wanted to do. We wanted to get some T-shirts out there, so we organized some merch.
Yeah.
Which is out, and just kind of make sure that we had things the way that we wanted to for like organizing the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's great. It's great. I love that project so much.
Yeah, it's a dope project.
It's a combination of like some of my just favorite style working. I'm high BPM generally speaking.
Yeah.
You know?
I noticed that like from the opening, it's like
high energy.
You don't really see that in hip hop, like, or at least like commercial hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's very slow now.
No, that's 80s. Yeah, 80s was like when it's like super. Yeah, keep that tempo up, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. I'm about that throwback era.
Yeah.
Because again, that's where the culture was born, right? So like that's where I try and focus my efforts. And shout out to The Cure for, recognizing that.
Yeah.
I don't work with MCs often for a couple of reasons. I get hit up often enough, but not enough where I'm like, I want to do work with everybody.
Right.
And the reality is that my beats are tough to rap over, and I accept that. It's meant to be organic hip hop.
Right.
Again, I promote myself as an instrumental performing artist.
Yeah.
But then when someone like The Cure comes around and he's like, challenge accepted. It wasn't even like I approached him necessarily. We just both kind of organically came to this decision, like, hey, how would you like to do something?
Yeah.
And then we were just like, how would you like to name ourselves?
Right.
Because of course we're nerdy. So Zarkin Fruit is a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, reference.
Okay. Yeah,
and
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. Zarkin Fruit.
Okay.
someone who knows where their towel is. And is a generally cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the definition.
Okay.
And so, but of course, because we're musical, we decided to go with Bards. Again, just nerdy old school reference. So Zarkin Bards was born.
Okay.
And I love that guy. Yeah, we're great.
Yeah. It's a dope album.
We like to have fun, and I like the fact that if we ever do any shows, I can perform live right next to him. No having to press play on that MP3 player and then do your thing.
Right. Like you can actually perform. It's like having a whole band.
Yeah.
Right there.
And that's how I wanted to flex myself. Yeah. It's like, when you see DokBrass, I want you to think of that sound that you generally hear from me.
Yeah.
That high energy, but still sometimes relaxed, because I like to break it down, right? But generally high energy and positive. There isn't a lot of negative beats if you really think about my beat style.
Yeah.
You don't really think man, I really want to hurt myself right now.
Yeah, you got energy, good energy. When I hear your beats, they kind of, I don't want to say happy, sappy happy,
bro.
But
Happy's great.
I mean it's sappy happy. Let me put it like that.
Okay,
they're good, feel good happy. You want to jam out or you want to vibe out to it.
Word.
Because there are different types of happy.
No, for sure. Yeah. Nah, but I like it. I mean, happy, it totally can be considered happy because, dude, if that music makes you feel good and leads you in a positive direction, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point is to lead in a positive direction. So, if it makes you feel happy, then hell yeah.
Yeah, it's right in line with your persona and how you approach music.
Yeah,
so I mean,
I'm doing my job, right?
Yeah, it's integrity.
Yeah, it's keeping that rare form consistent. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let everybody know how they can connect with you on social media and where they can find all of your music.
Okay, so everything, thankfully, simply enough, I was able to lock in DokBrass for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the real DokBrass, none of that shenanigans.
Yeah.
DokBrass, Doc with a K.
Yeah.
Okay, Instagram, it's at DokBrass. Twitter, it's at DokBrass. Facebook.com/DokBrass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can link, my main followings are on Instagram because that's where, a lot of my 1-minute videos are posted.
Mm-hmm.
I do share those videos to Twitter and to Facebook so that people who are on those platforms can see it.
Yeah.
But I do go live on Instagram, and I have more of a consistent culture of being around a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you can hit me up on any of them. I respond definitely within 24 hours, generally within 4.
Okay.
I like to time manage myself.
Yeah, yeah. You're actually one of the better people that I've like interacted with when it's come to like quick responses. So like, let me tell y'all, like I appreciate stuff like this. Artists, anybody who wants to be on this show, learn from DokBrass. Respond as quickly as you possibly can. I understand we're all busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, we all. I got a 9-to-5 grind that I do,
Same here.
and then some, right? So it's like, of course, there can be, I hope that didn't turn off my PC. Actually, no, I'm connected to the battery. I'm good. Because then I would just have to reload my set.
That was weird.
All right. It's just the energy. It's so high. It's messing with the electricity.
Right.
What were we just talking about? Oh, yeah. So my main following is on Instagram. But, yeah, you can reach out to me on Facebook or whatever. I have notifications on all of them. So if I get a message on my home screen, and I respond as efficiently as I can.
Yeah.
But I just appreciate all the kind words in that regard. And for my music. So I've only been tomorrow will be 2 years since my first post on Instagram when I didn't even have an album or anything like that. So this year I put out 2 projects, and that's A Brass Tale. So if you look up DokBrass on iTunes, on Spotify, really all of your digital platforms, right, you'll see A Brass Tale. And if you look up Zarkin Bards, Zarkin, for those who aren't nerdy and look up Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Zarkin Bards, Bards, and that's also on iTunes, Spotify, and all of your digital platforms.
Yes.
So it's like, whatever you listen to, man, just groove. And and I tell people, if you like it, tell your friends about me. I'm trying to organically grow. I'm not doing none of that paid nonsense. Hit me up for followers and all that shenanigans.
Right.
I want people who like what I do to promote what I do.
Absolutely.
So tell your friends, and if you don't like it, tell your friends, because honesty is important.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, just be honest. If you don't like it or don't, but have fun with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know whether or not you want to go ahead and
mask up?
Yes, mask up.
All right.
Get to see the masked superhero, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to give y'all a show that you've never seen before. Yes, sir. How's that sound for you? Live, y'all.
I have made my plans with great care, Doctor. It looks clean.
Oh, yes, quite clean.
Clean.
Oh, yes, quite clean.
Man, oh my God. Y'all are seeing this live, y'all. Live.
This can only be the work of Dr. B.
Yes. That's right, M. Genius, pure genius. Yes. This is special, y'all. This is special right now.
Looks clean.
Oh, yes, quite clean.
clean.
Oh, yes, quite clean.
Looks clean.
Oh, yes, quite clean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man. We go. Give me one more. Give me one more. Give the people one more. This is all the way lit, y'all. This all the way lit. Gasoline face. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable DokBrass. man, I cannot say it enough. Man. Genius. Absolute genius. I mean, bruh, you got to see the comments people got in the Facebook Live right now, man. You set it on fire. You good.
Okay, cool. Thanks. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Apparently you're going to
get happy, right? We're getting a happy vibe?
Oh, we're happy vibe, man. Like, people, man, they loving you, man. Yeah, you're just like, people like saying stuff like old school twang.
Yo,
you're going to get charged with arson.
Yeah, let's go.
Somebody said flip Fantasia type of feel.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
So
appreciate
that
all the kind
That was
words.
from the missus. You know, she said the flip plan.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people who, you know, they love that type of vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? And I knew they would, and that's why I'm glad that you were able to come down.
Oh, dude, thank you.
And
No.
making that drive, man. I definitely appreciate you coming through. This was
I
an
used to live in
experience of
Maryland.
a
I used to do
lifetime.
that drive all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
You know, 5 hours, come on, pish posh. You take 2.5, you take a break, you're 2.5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Nothing but a tough commute twice.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But thank you. It means a lot just to come out and jam for you guys. I like to have fun.
I appreciate that, man.
You know?
That was an experience. Absolutely. What was I going to say? So let me do this before, because what we're going to do is we're going to close out on a Zark and Barge track.
Okay.
But let me do this real quick. Definitely got to give some birthday shout outs. I meant to do this at the midway point. You know what I'm saying? We got because it's you know, let me tell it's the best season of all, Libra season, you know what I mean?
Tis true.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to shout out Mary from Hobart William Smith and Jay Neal, the homie, you know, always supporting the show. Their birthday is September 29th, day after mine. My homie and former college roommate, Shameen, the homie Frank Reed of Native Sons, and Jay Czar all celebrated birthdays on Monday. I think that was Monday. Yeah, October 1st. The lovely Nefera Ma'ati Ra, wife of my homie Pav P, celebrating a birthday today, October 3rd. My big sis, Candace, celebrating a birthday Friday, October 5th. Our very own Pandora Love, C.W. Allen, and the homie Adriel, they'll be celebrating birthdays on Saturday, the 6th. My homie Neil Tate, the homie Sage of Seven Paths, instrumental artist that we featured on here before, and Calicia, another one of my college buddies, October 7th. Kenethia and Mike Francis celebrating birthdays October 8th, and Shayla, who I went to Jeff and Squid Out Walls with Shayla.
Let's go.
Yeah, she'll be celebrating a birthday October 9th. So Libras are definitely rolling strong in this season.
And don't forget DokBrass, 925.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
my
baby.
man. How about that? Yeah.
Nah, I don't obviously shout it out. Nah, obviously I'm not like, yo, check out my birthday just came, so this is dope.
No wonder we vibe. See,
Yeah,
look at
no,
that.
dude, Libras,
Libra
man.
greatness in
That's
the
it.
house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Come on, we rolling
it was
strong.
a big one. I turned 30.
The missus said, get that man a sandwich. Not a sandwich, a sandwich.
Yo, let's go.
Man.
Yeah, no, I turned the big 3-0.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, and I know I look great, but I'm numbers-wise, I'm a little getting up there. I still feel pretty spry.
Hey, 30, that's when the magic happens at 30.
I just need to get some lumbar support, man. My lower back is killing me right now.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I mean?
When you start talking about lumbar support, that's when you know. That's when you know. Oh man, so yeah, so
No,
let
that's
me.
great. Shout out to all the Libras, man.
Yes, big shout out.
Where
to
would we
Libras.
be without us?
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. So much greatness. And you got the same birthday as Will Smith.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up, Willie? You ever want to do a birthday? I'll come play at your birthday for free, man. You know what I mean? For you, I grew up with you, man. That's my gift to you is to come jam for you. You know?
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna announce a few. Hey, that's right, baby. Libra's rolling strong. The missus is also a Libra. Her birthday is October 18th.
Yeah, let's go. You chose one. Yeah.
See, we roll strong in this piece. So let me announce a few announcements before we close out. So the shops at Iverson today will be holding the Capital Area Food Bank Mobile Market from 6 to 8 p.m. That will be in the Community of Hope AME Church, 3701 Branch Avenue, Hillcrest Heights. Features a monthly mobile food bank delivery service providing fresh, free produce to high-needs neighborhoods throughout the Washington metropolitan area. And that's once again right here in the shops at Iverson today from 6 to 8. Carolina Music Universal is doing their Facebook Friends Festival. They do it once a month. They'll be doing it not this Thursday, next Thursday, October 10th, at L8 Lounge, 727 15th Street Northwest in D.C. Features dancers, food specials, special guest DJs, photo shoot, and live entertainment. Next Thursday, it'll be D Black and friend of the show, Young Gifted. Cost is $10 online, $15 at the door until midnight. First 50 ladies free, and discounted tickets available online. Ladies free before 10 p.m. at the door, and open bar for the ladies from 10 to 11 p.m. For more info, visit Facebook Friends Thursdays.eventbrite.com. And finally, another event that we are in partnership with, the Economic Development Committee of the Fairfax County Branch National Association for the Advancement of Colored People will be holding the first annual Fairfax NAACP Veteran and Minority Business Expo. That will be Saturday, December 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Thomas Jefferson High School, 6560 Braddock Road, Alexandria, Virginia. The cost is $60 for vendors, $20 for additional tables. Attendees are encouraged to donate $7 for the Fairfax NAACP to continue their advocacy work in Fairfax County. For more info, contact Ms. Nikki Zimmerman at 571-309-2621 or email veterans@fairfaxnaacp.org or economicdev@fairfaxnaacp.org. Our bars for life for this week is from another Libra. It's been Libra heavy.
Yo, let's go.
Lil Wayne Libra, and now we got another Libra. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Poet, essayist, and naturalist Diane Ackerman, she left this quote, dropped this gem. She says, "I don't want to get to the end of my life and find that I lived just the length of it. I want to have lived the width of it as well." And I know for me, celebrating a birthday last week, and one of the things that's been important for me is constantly not just living a long life, but living a full life, living a life where I feel like I've done everything that I wanted to do in my life. So I just give y'all that encouragement as y'all go throughout your week to just not just live to be healthy, not just live to live a long life, but do all the things that you really want to do. Fulfill your passions, fulfill the things that, you know, like don't leave any points on the field, so to say. You know what I'm saying? Always just every day seek to live your best life. Another day in paradise.
Yo, damn Skippy.
Every single day. Every single day. Before we close, because, you know, I'm infamous for doing this, I always forget to read the results of polls. So, not going to do it this week. All right. So, in our poll on Twitter, the question was, is the Carter 5 proof that Lil Wayne is back? So 92% of people said yes. Only 8% of people said no. And on Facebook, I believe, if it'll pull up. Yep. 100% of people said yes, that Lil Wayne is indeed back. So appreciate everybody for voting in both of the polls. I mean, it's the same poll, but just on different platforms. And just appreciate everybody who tuned in today for this special edition of the Balancing Act Radio Show. Shout out once again to Nitesh Agrawal of Indies and DC Startup Week. And shout out to our guest of honor in studio today, DokBrass, once again.
Yeah, thanks again, man, for having me. For real.
Absolutely.
For real.
It was a pleasure to have you, man. And the people agree. So I'm going to let you close out, introduce the track that you mentioned from Zarkin Bards.
Oh, So Proud?
That's right.
Ah, nice, yeah. So you're about to hear So Proud off Zarkin Bards' Speakeasy Safari, out on all digital platforms. Nice little flex of instrumentation and vocal rhythms.
Yes, indeed. And make sure y'all tune in next week, 2 bars. We will have Tia Day, singer Tia Day, in studio, also actress. And yeah, we just appreciate y'all. And remember, we are the official Hump Day motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars. See y'all next week. Peace.
Get down
to it, sit down, do it. In that seat, you wanna watch me do it? I'm but a conduit. Hop to it, or you can dip, fondue it. Everybody bocce, kip out Versace, keys in shiny clothes like Liberace. Doc B, drop into the hip hop beat, say you better bars, I spit kashi. Never keep it alive to Makachi. You can watch me cooking like hibachi. Pain is blotchy, came to stop me. Dang, your rocky chain. When I be, slow down.